So this is our first project that we're gonna do at this place. You can see we've kind of got a mess of just stuff over here. We're not doing this today. I'm gonna have to go and rent some equipment to come and clear this, but we got these trees. They're just a little bit too big. I don't even know if I can pull them up with a skid steer and a tree puller. I think I'm gonna have to rent a little excavator from Kubota, or I say little, probably the biggest excavator they make, and come in here and try to clear this crap out. But what we're gonna try to do today is we're gonna take our Kubota tractor and we're gonna come and we're gonna try to open up all this stuff back here. You can see old truck beds, stuff like that. So it is late May 2024. And if you've brush hogged or even mowed tall grass, you're gonna know how kind of scary it is to drive through a new place when you haven't, you don't know what's out here and you can't really see. Some of this stuff, like this tree, I may not mow it down, but there's some of this stuff, I mean, blackberries and whatever. I think we can mow it down and have a big impact without having to go and rent something. When you rent, equipment for a week or whatever, you're gonna get up in the thousands of dollars when you're at a week. I'm probably definitely going to regret not bringing off, because there are a lot of ticks. But this stuff, I mean, we're kind of still at the size where we can brush hog it down. Now back here, we may be getting into a different story. This is the it's kind of like a pond that's died. We're gonna have to have it dug out if we want to have a pond here. I don't know that we really do. It's kind of a question of what this will become. Right now it's probably just a snake habitat, turtles and frogs, kind of a mess. A lot of this stuff, this stuff can be, I think these are cherry trees. These are elms. Elms are terrible in Oklahoma. They're very invasive, and I think some of these we can get with a brush hog, but some are, we're gonna have to have a tree puller. These are more of like a tree puller type size. But what we're gonna do is what we can do, and then if we run out of being able to do stuff here, we'll go and we'll start brush hogging down on in the bottom, I guess is what I'll call it. It is a creek bottom. It has the potential to be very pretty, but we've got to work on it. This place, is a very cool place, but it needs work, and that's what our plan is to put some sweat equity in it, and it'd be a cool place to raise our family. See an old trailer. I don't know what kind of trailer that is. I don't know if it could be, useful in some way, may just be scrap. wagon wheel, some type of old like farm implement back in there. You got just a bunch of cinder blocks and just stuff that needs to be cleaned up. I think I can brush hog, you know, 90% of the stuff out here. I'm not trying to go super crazy. That's a big deal I don't really want to mow over with my brush hog. This stuff needs to go in a burn pile. Another, got a wagon with huge trees, elm trees growing up through it, a bunch of chain link. Another old farm implement. And then we were hoping this could be a chicken house. It's got good sides, but the roof is no good. You can see they've already, you know, it definitely was somebody's chicken house, but a lot to seal up. And oh, there's a frog. Kind of not in the best of shape in there, you know. And that's the question with all this old stuff. Do you go through the work to try to fix it, or do you just say, I'm gonna go build something new? And as expensive as everything new is, you know, it's kind of hard to make that decision at times. I've been told, neighbor Tony said that there's a well out here, I believe, so that's kind of another thing. Like an old water well, I think, and it's kind of another thing I'm really gonna have to watch for. But this is, right now, this is thick. I mean, thick with 2 C's. Here's our kind of, it's on the back side of the house. It's a it's like a big kind of, I don't know, I hate to say carport, but big like shed, you know. Gonna be very good to have to park tractor and stuff under. But as you can see, it's a project. It's gonna take a lot of work. But there's nothing wrong with stuff that takes a little bit of work. There's another shed. We're gonna have to get a big dumpster. This stuff is what worries me a lot. How many nails are out here just ready to pop your tire? You can see, kind of crazy. brand new bearing in the box. Timken. Cool stuff if you hold a wood stove for out here. Definitely gonna keep that. Pretty cool. Anyway, I got kind of sidetracked, but I'm walking back to the tractor and old boat, you know, What the heck do you do with an old boat? Kind of. Here's these sheds, and we got to do like a real, you know, walkthrough of everything before we. Here's the first expensive project, a new roof for this house. Propane tank. It's got a wraparound roof, or a wraparound porch with, you know, roof comes over. We're having a class 4. We've got really bad weather, and we had a hailstorm come through last year that actually broke the roof on my tractor. Quade left my sunglasses that his dog chewed up. As you can see, he wears them. They don't have an end. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, so got our tractor, everything, got our brush hog. We'll sit our brush hog down just a little bit. So if you're thinking about buying a tractor, we have another place. We had it from 2015 to 2020. We had cows, and we did not have a tractor. I would go put out hay with a hay trailer and whatever vehicle I had at the time, and it was very frustrating. I kind of broke down in 2020. I said I gotta go buy a tractor, and we bought this Kubota M7060. Bought it brand new, 4-wheel drive with cab, and that brush hog, 7-foot brush hog, and you know, hay spears and front end loader and all that stuff. And one of the best investments if you're thinking about buying a tractor. I've you know, operated John Deere, Kubota, Belarus. Hey, I like Kubota, and we kind of buy everything Kubota just because we have a really good dealership in Shawnee that we like, and they come and get it, service it. I have it serviced every winter. It's got, you know, 420 hours, and that's just what we do. I'm sure every brand is great. I like Kubota, but you know, I would say the cab versus no cab deal, I would 100% buy a cab tractor again. There's no even doubt in my mind. Okay, we're turning it up. We're gonna put our PTO, you know, 540. I greased everything before we really got going. I greased everything, and we're gonna start, and we'll see how it goes. I'm really scared about hitting something, but I'd rather hit it with my equipment than hit it with something that I borrowed or rented. And we're gonna do our best here. Try to clean it up. As you can see, it already looks better. And what I'll do is I'll kind of cut a path through here, and I'll stay away from the fence where all this stuff is stacked up, and then as I can get to where I can see better, I'll come back and try to get, you know, closer and closer. Oh, what are we hitting? Just old trees or something. Maybe we'll focus kind of up here a little bit on, maybe we'll do one side of this pond and then do the other side, because that's kind of, it's a little scary over there for me. Some of you guys are maybe I can do whatever, but I really want to tear my stuff up. Man, so look how much of a difference we've made. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe 30 minutes, but you can actually get out and walk in this now, where it was that, it's just grass. Pretty cool. I think we're going to be able to get a lot done with just our tractor before we have to go and rent something for the bigger trees, but I'm excited so far. So here's kind of what, you know, stuff like this worried me all along coming out here and doing this. I hit it with the back of the brush hog. It's got this nice metal, I don't know what you'd call it, guard, I guess. So it kind of lets you push into stuff when you're going backwards. Just knocked it over. We'll take it and throw it with this crap, that way we don't hit it again. But man, such a big difference. See, we got some pretty decent sized stobs. It's not good, but we'll just keep at it. This is going to be the you know, I don't think this will be too bad. I don't think I can get that big cherry tree or whatever it is, but this stuff I think I can do. It's just a question of more crap. Is there more junk out here? More junk to run over? I don't know. But I think I can mow all these down. So it'll be looking nice. So 2 hours about, I think, and we made a pretty big difference. That stuff worries me. Stobs. I've had a I've had like a four-wheeler tire popped by a stob before, but for the amount of stuff you get done, man, you can't, you know, a mulcher, but you're gonna pay so much having somebody come in and mulch this. You know, I don't know if it's really worth it. We got into a little bit of big stuff. Pretty sure that one was a little too big. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm gonna have to come in here. What I think I'm gonna try, I think I'm gonna rent an excavator, do that big stuff, and then when I get done with that, I'll come over here and I'll start on this, and I'll just try to pick all this stuff out and kind of go on from there. But probably gonna move on down to the creek bottom and start on that. But much improved. So, take it one step at a time, but I'm happy with that. So here's our little entryway down into the creek bottom. That's the we have a little creek crossing that is actually on our neighbor's place, but they're nice enough to let us use it. I want to come in here, see, they just cut their place for hay. I want to come in here and clean some of this up, but you get to a point where you can't get too close to that creek, because what we've been told is beavers have gotten up on the sides and kind of made the creek not as got holes in it in the bank essentially. But here's all this. And I just want to come and, I mean, eventually the goal is to, all this stuff is cleaned up and it's pretty. But right now, the goal is brush hog it and not do anything too wild, but maybe stuff like this, try to get that. And this is where we got to be careful though. Over here we got to stay away from these posts, because that's where, but the goal is to clean up all this crap out in this field. So that's what we're going to do. GoPro is just about to die. You can see, you know, the stuff we're wanting to kind of get rid of. Weeds, like those purple-headed weeds, and I'm going to try to get up in this stuff as much as I can, but there's a lot of small things out in this field that we should be able to brush hog, you know, fairly easily, make it look a lot better. We've started, we're making progress. I don't think the GoPro is going to last long enough to really see anything, but we'll try. Hey, so we got a new roof. Came and did it this morning. Still late May 2024. Nation's Best Roofing from Tulsa did it.
Record time.
What do you think, babe?
I think it looks good. It's fancy.
Almost as impressive, the freezer shed also got a new roof.
Got to get some new gutters. You're good to go.
Yeah, we got to work our way up to gutters. We're not quite there yet. This poor little shed it was leaking really bad. They had to put a new deck on the house, and they had to put a new deck on this little building that we're going to use as a freezer shed. See, we're going to have to, everything's a project in this.
Good thing you like projects.
Yep. Comes with a freezer already, mint condition.
It comes with this fancy bike too.
And a fancy bike. What'd they do? They just put new decking over this?
On top of this.
So they put new decking on top of the old decking. And then they did the same. They replaced the decking that was, there was kind of like this, what do they call it, babe? Car siding stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Underneath the overhang for the porch. And they replaced the front porch car siding. They left this, and then they just put new decking over top. If you look closely, you can kind of see in certain spots, you can see the new decking. So there were some problems with this roof. It was fairly old, and we've had some really bad hailstorms, and they saw when they were taking it up that basically had been done incorrectly. They hadn't matched the sheathing up, and they had used nails that weren't big enough and just hadn't done it correctly. We got upsold on the solar attic vent. It's supposed to turn over your air in your attic way more. Help keep it cooler, I guess. Help with all the humidity or whatever you don't want to have in your attic. Who knows? But we're excited. We'll do like a comparison shot of the old versus new. Another good day working on the project house.